ID Innovations is an adult and child policy which gives individual employees the power to create change where it's needed most. Without needing approval from executive leadership, I think teams throughout the agency can really tailor their work to fit their needs, the needs of their clients, the best way they know how.
The program as I know it was implemented across the agency to allow for all staff to feel like they have input into just different little changes, that we don't want there to be any sort of bureaucracy or any sort of limit on. I've heard things like just adding a microwave to developing new processes.
When we heard about Idea Innovation, our team lead Amanda was like, we got to do this, like this is an opportunity. And so we kind of brainstormed just the barriers that we see with our youth and that we have in just doing our jobs every day. We kind of just had a conversation from there about the ones that stood out the most.
It's been really exciting opening the door to different ideas and the impact that we can have within our service line.
We are lucky enough to already be such an innovative team, but Idea Innovation has really encouraged us to take ideas and run with them.
We've had a lot of great ideas from staff. It's a big process to get the client started, up and running, and sometimes there could be several people assigned to that referral, and so the client was getting several calls. Staff came up with a great idea to designate an intake therapist and be the sole person to get that case started, up and running, contact the client, and that created a lot less stress and confusion. We kind of revamped our staffing process, splitting it up into groups. We also took away discharges being staffed. Drug screens was an awesome idea. A lot of our clients also get services through addictions. They thought it would be awesome if we were able to administer those drug screens, so we got them all trained. We kind of changed our hiring process. Applicants are getting a shadow in with the direct care staff so we can get further assessment on if they would be good for this particular service line.
One of the big responsibilities that we have is, as new staff are hired, getting them into our systems across, all the systems that they need access to. As positions change, as they get promotion, any sort of change in the access that they need. A lot of that was a very manual process. So we've been trying to automate a lot of it too, to where we're not needing to actually manually go in and do things, because that slows down the process. That can create a bottleneck.
A lot of times it's really difficult to get youth to come out because of transportation. We saw transportation as a big barrier. So we've been able to implement with our program, working with kids on how to take the bus, going through bus routes. We came up with a transportation plan. We had Indigo come out and speak with our kids. We also created a video about taking the bus.
I kind of ran with making this floor a little bit more youth friendly. Some of the youth painted these flags for us for Pride. We put out more arts and crafts supplies. We put a doorbell on the door to make it more inviting, because we had youth telling us like, hey, I came up to visit you, but I couldn't get in. And so we never want that to happen.
It's really hard with home base because we're all so scattered around. I think it really gets them more involved. It's good for morale. It definitely has cut down, some different stressors and barriers.
And I know that our team as a whole feels very empowered. We feel that we can present these and have decisions made right away, so it's not something that is a long, drawn-out process. A lot of bigger companies really struggle with being able to implement changes and being agile and being able to change with the communities that we serve.
There's been kind of this disconnect in between us doing programming at the school and then youth coming here. But since we've started to implement some of these changes through Idea Innovation, we've seen more like bridging of that gap.
My team's great. They're definitely a special breed. They do have to problem solve and adjust quickly to things that are thrown at them. They recognize that it doesn't have to be this way all the time, and if it's this way now, it can be changed in the future, it can be adjusted, we can make it better.
Our team's mission is to always be youth-led and youth-driven. The concept of Idea Innovation itself, of recognizing an issue and then proposing a solution, is exactly like what we want the youth to be learning. And I think that they see us doing that and then they feel more empowered.
Idea Innovation really works well specifically with our team, but I think it could be tailored to other teams. Having somebody take leadership on something that they feel passionately about is a good way to start.
Some things are going to work out well, some things aren't, and sometimes you just have to continue to adapt.
And also, it doesn't have to be a big change. If it makes the lives of you or your coworkers or your clients better, then try it. I hope it keeps going because we have a lot more ideas. We want to keep going.